As I continue on my journey in learning how to do acrylic paintings, I'm going to show you how to do an ocean scene with some nice waves right along the beach. And don't forget the sky and the clouds too. So join me, shall you? What is up, blind viewers, and hopefully some new viewers? I'm going to show you how I kind of figured out how to do an ocean scene with a nice big wave and yeah, some other things going on. So again, new to this is my third attempt at the acrylic paints. So I started with the sky, blended it all out, did all that fun stuff. Tried to do a horizon line by hand, and later on I went ahead and put some tape down. But yeah, I started with the darker blues at the top of the sky and blended it down to a lighter at the bottom towards the horizon, and I added just a touch of red just to give it that little pop of haze and distance at the horizon. Here I am adding more light blue to the bottom. I didn't like it, so I figured, hey, that's the nice thing about painting. Just paint over it. I am still learning, so if you are new to acrylic painting or just started, that's right. I'm showing you how I did it because I am brand new. Again, this is my third attempt at it. Now I do usually do color pencil, but yeah, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. Now here I'm laying down the water for the ocean. I do know that at the horizon, that's where the deep water is, so it's darker blue, and as it comes closer, it gets a little bit lighter. Now I'm gonna just rough in the where the beach is gonna be. And again, all this color blocking thing is new to me. I don't do that in color pencils, but now I'm learning. So you kind of have to have a kind of like a vision or an idea in your head. So now this is where the wave is going to be. I have this kind of figured out what I want. So here I'm laying down the idea of where this wave is going to be, giving some kind of indications of the flow and stuff like that, kind of mapping out this wave of where I want it. And I know as this thing goes along here and you're doing all this color blocking, it kind of looks funky and goofy, and I'm like, oh man, this is horrible. But no, trust me, stick with me, bear with me. It does look a lot better in the end. It's just trying to figure out where everything's going to go. And again, it's just the color blocking, so you have an idea. And it's paint, so things can change. You can paint over it and move it around. But this is an idea. Now I know that, oh, look at that splattered on the camera. Isn't that nice? But yeah, I do know that as a wave forms and it curls around, that the sun shines through the water. That's right. So it's not blue anymore. It's that turquoise, that greenish color, because the light's shining through it. And there's spots where it's really nice and thin, and you can really see the light through it, and it shows that green color. And other parts it's a little bit darker turquoise. And then you have the dark stuff that the light's not really getting to it yet, so it's still that bluish color and dark. And then you have the part where the sand's being pulled up and all that. So trying to keep all that in mind as I'm kind of laying in these colors. And this is just roughing everything in for now, so you have this idea. So you do have to kind of have, like a vision in your head. Now here, this is going to be like the foamy part where it's coming up onto the beach. And now I'm blocking in where the big wave is going to crash down. And yeah, I know. Why is he doing it in that color? Well, because you don't want to just go in with the whites. You need all those little undertones, the grays and stuff, because again, the sun doesn't get everywhere. You just don't want this big white glob. You need depth to make it look full, more lifelike. Here I'm just doing some different textures and colors of the sand right along the crashy part. Now here is where I was talking about. Now this is the part where the sun's not really gonna get through, so it doesn't have that transparent turquoise look. This is the dark water underneath, again, that the sun doesn't get to. Kind of mapping that out, throwing that in. And again, the fun thing with paints is, if you don't like where it is or what you did, you just paint over it. So yeah, again, this is the dark part at the base of the wave. Now we're going to go ahead and throw in the nice white, foamy, crashy stuff. And what I did was I go through with the white and hit the tops where I know the sun's going to hit. And it's going to pick up that nice bright white. Then I'll go and I'll kind of thin it down just a little bit, or as it runs out of paint on the brush, I go over some of that gray spot. So there's the grays and then a muted gray, but not a real white. So there's different shades of whites and grays in that curl or that foamy part, that part that's crashing. And then I'll go back over top and hit with the white indications of where the sun's really going to hit and grab that white. But so you have all those different tones to give it the depth. Now while I'm working with the white, I figured, let me go up here, let that shit dry, and I will pop in some clouds. Now the ones that are low, close to the horizon, they're the ones that are far away. So they're smaller and, not as big and all that good stuff. And the ones that are close to you, right above your head, are up there, and they're the bigger ones. The ones off in the distance, they're more flat. You're looking at the sides of them more. And the ones that are overhead, of course, you're looking more up towards at the bottom of them. Now we're going to go back to the wave, since I got some basic cloud shapes up there. And I'm going to start lightening up parts of the wave where I was talking about that transparent part that you can see through almost at that sun shining through. Now here's the part that I was talking about where the sand and seaweeds and all kinds of other things are being pulled up from the bottom and they're being dragged up into the wave. So there at the bottom you have that dark color where the sun's not going to get to. But as the sand and other things are being pulled up and the sun's hitting it, you can see through, and you see those greens and yellows and the sand, and so that starts to get pulled up. And then there's parts right underneath, which I made a little bit darker turquoise. Now I'm going back down to the water. It's not going to stay this dark, but it's that indication of, the dark where the sun's not hitting. Now it's time to put that foam, the foam and all that good stuff that comes crashing up onto the shore. Kind of laying that in and figuring out where the sun is going to hit. And it's going to be a little bit brighter, separating that nice white sunny part. Now I'm kind of basically defining where it's going to hit the shore. The nice white edge of the foam, how it comes up, and some parts are actually pushing up onto the sand while others are retracting back. Now I'm going to pop up here and give these clouds a little bit of depth. I put some muted down, like a violet color, and then blended that in, and then went back over with the white again, just to try to give the clouds a little bit more depth so they're not so one-dimensional, floating around up in there. And again, I'm new to this, so I'm winging it. It's just kind of what I think. So I'm trying it, and it didn't turn out too bad. And again, this whole thing is to let you know that I'm new at this, and it might not be the best, but it turned out pretty good. And if I can do it at only my third time trying this, anybody can do it. So yeah, I put that violet color in there, and then tried to make it, like I said, give it some depth. I'm going over some more of the little ones back here in the distance to make them pop. Now back down to the sand, because you know when the water washes up, it makes the sand darker where it's really, really wet. It didn't dry yet. So I'm kind of figuring, let me try to do that. And again, best part about this painting stuff, unlike the colored pencils that I usually do, just paint over it if you didn't like the way it came out. Now we're going to go back here down in here and kind of do more foam. And the little foam bubbles and everything, the way it comes crashing up and rushes through. I'm trying to think of where the light's really going to hit, where the sun's going to hit it and make it glow, as opposed to the parts that are, kind of in the shadow of that wave still. And continuing with the little foam bubbles and everything that gets pulled up the wave. They get yanked up there and stretched, and then they break. And you just got to think of a wave, and what it looks like, how it reacts, how it pulls the water, how the sun shines through it, while other places the sun didn't get to it yet because it's in the shadow of all kinds of other stuff. It just didn't penetrate. Yeah, that's what I'm just trying to keep in mind. And of course it's nature, so keep it random, trying to make these little things look as natural as possible. And I did use the white watered down, so it's kind of really, really transparent. So, it's not like just this white glob. It's kind of like the sun is still shining through it, and it's in the water, not on top of the water. And then you go back over it with the brighter white in spots, so it's, stuff that's being pulled up and it's on the surface, while that other stuff that's muted white looks like it's in the water, not like on the surface. So different values is key, not just different colors, but different values of colors helps a painting out a lot, I found. Now I'm just kind of randomly going around, so things like so it's not so flat in the background there. Now the sun's going to hit here, and the tops of this little wave and the top of that big wave, and just little sparkly things here and there, just to break up it and make it not look so bland and monotonous. All right, there it is. This is my first attempt at a oceanscape, my third ever attempt at an acrylic painting. And again, not the greatest. If you are someone who knows what you're doing, you're probably going, oh God. But hey, I had fun with it, and to me, that's the biggest part. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun, and this is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.